is the Bryant News broadcast, featuring Chad Sabo with your Bryant updates, Nolan Thompson with the weather, Ryan Walsh with sports, and your hosts, Mike Cronin and Sarah Larrabee. And now for your Bryant News broadcast.
The Indonesian death toll is continuing to rise today. The tsunami, which caused by a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, has now led to 370 deaths. Hundreds more are still missing, and officials say they may have been swept out to sea. This disaster comes in addition to the volcanic eruption that took place elsewhere in Indonesia, in which 33 people were killed. The two catastrophes took place within 24 hours of each other. And with that, welcome to another edition of the Bryant News broadcast. I'm Mike Cronin.
And I'm Sarah Larrabee. This is the last week in October. Can you believe it? But this week also wraps up the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Throughout October, there have been hundreds of events around campus, around the state, and around the country to raise money and awareness about the seriousness of breast cancer and what is being done to find a cure. Just during the annual Gloria Gemma 5K walk held in Roger Williams Park Zoo in Providence alone, over $131,000 were raised. From Bryant students dyeing strands of their hair to the lighting of the Rhode Island State House, the color pink has been everywhere to showcase the spirit of those who have survived breast cancer, but also to remember those who have not. With more on this story, we turn to a news segment called Two Guys and a Girl.
Good morning, Bryant. I'm Erin.
I'm Dylan.
And I'm John.
And this is the Two Guys and a Girl segment.
October is a busy and exciting month, but it's also important to remember it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
1 out of every 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, and every 13 minutes, 1 woman will die of the disease.
Don't forget, men can get breast cancer too, and over 2,000 men will be diagnosed this year. We went to Homecoming in Waterfire, Providence to see some of the things Bryant students and members of the community are doing to combat cancer.
Homecoming weekend is a great way to welcome students and alumni back to Bryant, full of laughs, fun, and reuniting with old friends. This past homecoming, however, a serious note underlined all the festivities. In light of the occasion, the women's volleyball team sold silly bands in the shape of ribbons to always keep breast cancer awareness right on people's sleeves.
I'm here today with members of the Bryant volleyball team. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing today?
Yeah, well, today we have the Dig Paint game at 5 o'clock against Farley Dickinson, and so we're raising money for the breast cancer awareness cause. We're selling these adorable silly bands to raise some money and obviously raise awareness for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Cancer is on everyone's mind this month, and St. Jude's fundraiser committee is doing their part.
Hi, I'm here with some St. Jude's Up Till Dawn members. Now tell me exactly, what is Up Till Dawn?
Up Till Dawn is our event to raise awareness about St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and pretty much on November 9th in the MAC from 5 to 11, students are going to be coming in and writing letters to help fundraise for the hospital.
That's really incredible. Now, St. Jude's, what is it exactly you guys do? I'm sure there's more than just, obviously, on Bryant campus. Are you guys, like, all over the place?
Yeah, almost every college campus around the country has an Up Till Dawn program, and basically the program raises money for the hospital because it costs $1.5 million a day to keep St. Jude going. The reason this is because they don't charge a single family anything. When they come in, any chemotherapy is free, any medicine they need, lodging is free. They have housing right next to the hospital, so most of the patients are allowed to live in their little apartments, and then they don't have to stay in the hospital their whole entire treatment. So it's really just a great cause.
That really is. That's an incredible thing. It's really incredible you guys are doing this. And you guys, I can see you guys are raising some awareness right here. You guys are passing out the silly bands over there. These sunglasses are pretty. These are pretty good looking right here. So this is all coming out of St. Jude's pocket. This is.
Yeah, well, we were selling sunglasses, or we were just giving away sunglasses before. The reason we're doing this is just to raise awareness about childhood cancer.
It's really great that you guys are involved for that. If you guys want more information, you guys can call, you can email teamarena1@bryant.edu. And don't forget, November 9th from 5 to 11 in the MAC, Up Till Dawn will take place. It's a really great cause. Get involved.
The last Waterfire Providence celebration of the year was a special one. A collaboration between Waterfire and the Gloria Gemma Breast Cancer Resource Foundation. The Saturday night event, called Flames of Hope,
was part of a 3-day celebration of Life Weekend for the Foundation in Providence. The Gloria Gemma Resource Foundation raised over $32,000 in their torch fundraiser, where people are able to sponsor breast cancer survivors who marched with torches, Flames of Hope, on the night of the water fire event. The Gloria Gemma Breast Cancer Resource Foundation was founded in 2004 in honor of Gloria Gemma, who fought a courageous battle with breast cancer and passed away from the horrific disease. After her death, her 9 children established the foundation with the promise that 100% of the net proceeds would remain in the local community.
These are just a few of the things being done locally in the fight against cancer. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. I feel like so many people here on campus really get into the spirit of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah, and you know, I've actually noticed it this year more than others. I think a lot of people are really getting into it, yourself included. I mean, yes. I noticed you have a strand of pink hair.
I have a strand in here somewhere. It's there, but yeah. I just thought it was a great cause. Totally freaked out my parents, but it's definitely for the cause, and it was a small donation, and everything counts.
Sure,
so.
It's great to see everyone getting involved with this.
Yeah. All right, here's Nolan with a look at our weather.
Thanks, guys. Taking a look at the radar, you can see we're in the clear, and it's going to stay clear for the rest of the week. Expect partly cloudy skies and temperatures in the mid-50s, but look out for a few showers starting next Wednesday. Well, it looks like it's going to be a clear, crisp, and beautiful kickoff to November. Happy trick-or-treating, and now over to Brian with sports.
Thanks, Nolan. Vikings head coach Brad Childress is currently the coach dealing with the most pressure. Last season, he was in danger of losing his job, but thankfully, Brett Favre came back, and they went to the NFC Championship game. Now they're 2-4 and they lost to the Packers last week. He's in trouble, and everyone speculates that Favre is the problem of the Vikings. Well, they're wrong. Childress has been the problem. As a coach, time and time again making dumb decisions, starting Tavares Jackson in the 2008 playoffs, commenting on bad officiating, constantly getting into fights with the players, and most of all, pretending he knows what the heck he is doing. If the Vikings ever want to compete and win, simply fire him. Through every postseason appearance, Cliff Lee has shown Sandy Koufax-like dominance. That is, until last night, when he was lit up by the Giants in the 11-7 loss. Lee allowed 7 runs in 4 2/3 innings of work. That just proves everyone in baseball has a bad game. Lee is a great pitcher, a great postseason pitcher, one who is dominant like a Mariano Rivera. We heard this last season with Roy Halladay and him being unbeatable. No one is unbeatable. Cliff Lee had a terrible second half with the Texas Rangers, and something like this was bound to occur. Next season, though, he'll probably end up with the Yankees, because like we all know, they buy everyone up. And they expect championships from it. Back to you, Mike. Vikings head coach Brad Childress is currently the coach dealing with the most pressure. Last season, he was in danger of losing his job, but thankfully, Brett Favre came back, and they went to the NFC Championship game. Now, they're 2-4 and lost last week to the Packers. He is in trouble. Everyone speculates that Brett Favre is the problem of the Vikings. Well, they're wrong. Childress has been the problem. As a head coach, he has time and time again made dumb decisions. Starting Tavares Jackson in the 2008 playoffs, commenting on bad officiating, constantly getting into fights with players, and most of all, pretending knowing what he's doing. If the Vikings ever want to compete and win, simply fire him. Through every postseason appearance, Cliff Lee has shown Sandy Koufax-like dominance. That is, until last night, when he was lit up by the Giants in the 11-7 loss. Lee allowed 7 runs in 4 2/3 of work. That just proves, like everyone, he will have a bad game. Lee is a great pitcher, don't get me wrong, when he was dominant, like a Mariano Rivera. We heard this last season with Roy Halladay, who is unbeatable. No one is unbeatable. Cliff Lee had a terrible second half when he was traded to the Texas Rangers, and something like this was bound to happen. Next season, though, he'll probably end up with the Yankees, because as we all know, they usually take up everyone good in the free agent market and win championships. Back to you, Mike.
Well, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or Independent, Tuesday, November 2nd is your chance to make your voice heard. This year's midterm elections comes at a crucial time for this country, and it's important that we all get out there and vote for who and what we believe in. Do what you can to educate yourselves about the candidates and the issues, and rock the vote on Tuesday.
It's official. Waterfire is moving to Venice. Plans have just been finalized to host a 3-day event during the closing weekend in the historic city in Italy. as a part of the Architectural Beneval event. The entire Waterfire team, including close to 100 volunteers, will travel to Venice during the week of November 17th to host a lighting with 35 fires. Barnaby Evans created Waterfire as a creative weekend almost 15 years ago in Rhode Island's capital city. With the work of his whole crew and the generous support of donations from around the country, Evans has continued the tradition of lighting over 100 braziers in the Blackstone River in Providence every summer. Waterfire is currently in the process of raising $160,000 for the trip, but it will surely leave a mark on the history books.
Well, Sarah, Waterfire in Providence is cool enough, but imagine taking that to Italy. That's going to be something amazing to see.
I was actually a volunteer for Waterfire last spring, and this had already been in the works for a couple of years now. And you kind of heard, little bits and pieces, but I just received the email and the big news that it is actually happening. And I could not be more proud of the workers there, and I just thought it'd be a great event to share with you. It's less than a month away. They got a lot of work to do, but I have no doubt that they'll pull it off.
I think it'd be worth it to go. I mean, you go to Europe, go to Italy, and you see a little bit of home, Providence.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
It brings a whole new meaning of culture to Italy.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're going to turn it over to Chad now with the Bryant update.
Assistant Professor of English and Cultural Studies, Amber Day, tells the Los Angeles Times that Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert are taking a risk in taking the outsider image they have cultivated on their Comedy Central shows to the National Mall in Washington, D.C., October 30th. Amber Day quotes, "They're definitely walking the tightrope. The danger absolutely is seeming to come too close to the things they critique," end quote. This article also appeared in newspapers and online news sites around the country. In other news, the 7 candidates trying to be the next governor for Rhode Island participated in a debate on the Bryant campus on Wednesday night. The audience for the debate included some of Bryant's political science and communication students who got an up-close and personal look at politics. Some of those students are an assistant Professor Rich Holtzman's Political Parties and Elections course, which offers a real-time look at the electoral process in the United States. The class has engaged in daily discussions analyzing the primary and general elections, as well as dissecting campaign strategies.
Thank you, Chad. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the Bryant News broadcast. I'm Mike Cronin.
I'm Sarah Larrabee. Have a fun and safe Halloween, and we'll see you back next week on Channel 68.
Bye-bye.